Hey gang, this is the first for me going live on YouTube. I have been wanting to try this, and it definitely is different than going live on Facebook. Normally, Beautiful Bourbon goes live on Facebook. You can check us out there, facebook.com/beautifulbourbon. You can also get us on Instagram at Beautiful Bourbon, and now we're on YouTube as well. We have a blog that I need to populate a little bit better than I do, but that's at beautifulbourbon.com. This is a little bit different. I wanted to give it a shot and see what kind of experience going live on YouTube would be, so here I am. We're not going to dilly-dally too awful much. I want to get into this new one that I just picked up. It's HIRSCH the Horizon. This is a product of MGP out of Lawrenceberg, Indiana. This is one that is two different barrels. They take these two different barrels and they kind of smush them together. Very, very high rye bill. I'm going to tell you what that is. Let's see. You've got a 94% of it is a 5-year, 4-month aged, 75% corn, 21% rye, and 4% malted barley. And the other one that they mix into it with only about 6% is a 6-year and 2-month with a mash bill of 60% corn, 36% rye, and a 4% barley malt. Now, one thing MGP does really, really well is rye. I haven't found an MGP rye I haven't liked yet, and as a matter of fact, the one that they do that's called the Rossville Union, that is their proprietary rye, that's the first one they ever named MGP, it's theirs. It's real good. I like it. If you want to see that review, it's on the blog, beautifulbourbon.com, and it's also on Facebook, so check that out. But we're going to open this bad boy up and give it a try, and then we are going to do an old-fashioned with it. Since it's got such a high rye, we're going to do an old-fashioned, but the type of old-fashioned we're going to do is not the typical old-fashioned. Somebody suggested something today, and it sounded intriguing, so I really want to try it. All right, so I get out my little tasting glass. I love this little old-fashioned glass I've got. Smoked bottom, vintage, hard to find. Got it on Etsy. All right. All right, so I like it so far. The bouquet is pretty nice. Getting a lot of the traditional hints from a bourbon that you would expect, maybe a little banana, some vanilla, caramel, cinnamon. I wouldn't say it's got a specifically sophisticated nose. The ethanol, this is a 94 proof, but the ethanol in the nose is a little mild, which is nice. It's definitely got a vanilla forward. Maybe some apple, some sort of or pear. It's so similar when it comes to the nose. Just let this open up a little bit. Normally I would try these in a Glencairn glass, but I felt like doing something a little bit different tonight. I am a certified bourbon steward. Hey. So if you get the chance to do that, if you want to be a certified bourbon steward, you can do it too. You get the textbook, costs $75. Go to staveandthief.com. It'll tell you all about it. I'm glad I did it. I was nervous as all get out and finally just decided to do it, and I'm glad I did. Next step is to become an executive bourbon steward, and that's a little more expensive, and it takes a day, and you go to Louisville and you train on site. But I will do that. It sounds like a blast. All right. Getting some caramel out of it after I've aerated a little bit, swished it around. Yeah. All right. Mm-hmm. All right, this is a neat bourbon. This is one that was recommended to me. The people at the liquor store that I go to were very excited about this one. And I don't know why. Maybe it's just because it was new. So I took my first sip, and I like to let it sit there for 10, 12 seconds before I really take my second taste and give it a shot. For a 94 proof, the ethanol was very, very mild. But then it started to, what I call, bloom. That's when that burn starts to set in a little bit. Sometimes it's stationary, sometimes it goes all over your mouth, sometimes it's starting to sit on your tongue, it just blooms outward. It's really fun to see what the different liquors do with that. This one was very slow and just built nice and easy. That was fun. I can't think of another bourbon that I've tried recently that does that the way it did it. I'm gonna take a look over here in YouTube and see if anybody's following us here. All right, this is brand new. We'll see. We'll see. All right, I think I got one. So if somebody's watching, hello. All right, let's do that again. Mm-hmm. Okay, so I held it again just to see if I would get that same bloom, and I didn't get it this time. I'm getting some ethanol on the back after I swallow it, but I'm not getting that same bloom that I got the first time. But, you know, this is for a 94 proof, this is a very, very mild, smooth drinking, high rye. I'm really surprised at how smooth it is considering the high rye content. And 94. I've had 80 proofers that had more bite than this does. Now, the aging is good. As I mentioned before, the aging on this is significant. They had one that was 5 years and 4 months and one that was 6 years and 2 months. So it's had some time to develop some mellowness, but still, I'm surprised at how mellow it is for 94 proof. And it's just a slow burn on the ethanol. Now let's get one for flavor. Mouth feels nice. It's got a slight butteriness to it. Again, it's not indicative of a normal high rye for me, because although it's kind of buttery, I'm not getting those grassy notes. I'm not getting those toasted cereal notes. I'm not getting that kind of stuff. I'm getting the cinnamons and the caramels, and maybe there's a slight citrus in there. Right on it. It's maybe a little licorice. There's a sweetness to it, definitely a sweetness to it. It's quite good, and it surprises me again with just how mellow and smooth it is. And it's got some really nice flavors. Okay, one more of these and then we'll add some water to it. It's got a nice oakiness to it too. This is a straight bourbon. It's got a little pepper on the finish, and that's where the sweetness I'm getting is on the finish. I'm getting maybe a little citrus, little licorice, definitely some pepper. That vanilla stays throughout, all the way through. That's some of that sweetness as well. This is a nice pour. I do like this. We're going to do another one. These are just small pours. I don't want to go crazy. And I'm going to add a little water to this one. I got my cool little squirt bottle here. Oop, that's the wrong one. Oh, and that's not water either. No, that's not water. That is not the bottle I thought it was. This is my my aerator for absinthe. I'm not going to use that. Instead, I just happen to have a little water here. I'm just going to give it a little dose. There, just a little bit. I'm happy I had that water, because putting in a little absinthe in this, that would not be a good idea. my little vaporizer. It did a nice job. I made a Sazerac last week for the first time, and this little vaporizer did a really nice job of coating the inside of the glass. I was really excited about it. All right. So adding a little water to the HIRSCH, the Horizon. It mellows it out even more, and that's not a good thing. It's already so mellow and smooth that taking the proof down by adding water to it doesn't open it up. It doesn't close it up, it just mutes it. It's as if I put ice on it. The ethanol was still there on the back of the throat, but it was a lot less. It mellows it down to what you would normally expect like a 70 proofer to be. Now, a new whiskey drinker might appreciate that. But as somebody who had a barrel proof whiskey last night, this is a little timid for me. Still, the flavor is nice. It's just a little bit muted. All right, so now we're going to take this and do what I do every week. I'm going to put it on ice, and I will tell you I'm not expecting much. All right, so let's finish this. It is good. I like it better neat, and I'm not expecting much on ice. All right, so I like making these ice spheres. This one's been in the freezer for a little bit, so it's a little bit freezer burn. Just a little bit of extra crust on it, but that'll go away pretty quick. This is a clear ice sphere. There we go. Oh, that's pretty. Oh, it's gorgeous. It's gorgeous. All right. I'm not done. I'm not going to put the cork on. I'm not done with it yet. All right. So, let this cool down a little bit. This is another old-fashioned glass that I got. This is another Etsy purchase. Again, one that you're not going to find very easily. I want to say this one I think is Libby glass. The smoked one is not. But again, it's something that if I break it, that's it. I was able to get 5 of these, and one of them did break already, so now I've got a set of 4. And then these, I got a set of 4, and that was that. So I do like getting different glasses. It's kind of exciting. All right, so that ought to be nice and cool. Ooh, yeah, the glass is nice and cold. All right, here we go. Okay. It's still very, very mellow, but I think that putting it on ice improved the mouthfeel a little bit more than it did on water. The water just didn't do anything for me. I still like it best neat. But on an ice sphere, cooled down, it does have a different viscosity to it. The flavors are still there. They did not get terribly muted. As a matter of fact, I'd say that the flavors on ice are better than they were on water, but still not as good as it was neat. I like this. I don't know that I would want it on ice all the time. Again, it's got a nice flavor to it, neat. I don't know that this is one I would drink all the time. This is not going to be like a nightly pour. But it's a nice bottle. It's shaped like a flask, and it's got a nice flavor to it. It's definitely not in my top 25. But, you know, MGP puts out good stuff, and this is good stuff. Of the MGP products that I've tried recently, I would say I like the Rossville Union Rye better. It definitely has more bite to it. It's more of a rye present. It's got that toasted cereal and that butteriness and that grassiness that is endemic of ryes. This one, again, it's a high rye, but it's still a bourbon. And it's a little on the sweet side. But it doesn't fall away on ice. There's other bourbons that I've tried on ice that it just falls away and the flavors just dissipate and they mute and it's not tasty anymore. This holds up, and I'm happy to say that. This holds up on ice, and that's a plus. All right. Last thing, I'm going to do an old fashioned, and this old fashioned is different than other old fashions. I wanted to do an old fashioned because of the high rye content of this bourbon. It's going to cut through with an old fashioned really well. This one being kind of mellow, even at 94 proof, it's pretty mellow. I'm anxious to see how it's going to do. I was hoping it'd be a little bit more robust, but we'll try it anyway. So what we're going to do is get the old-fashioned glass out here, the traditional old-fashioned glass. So normally I wouldn't add the ice until later. So we're gonna wait. We'll wait. All right. So normally we start off with the 2 ounces of the bourbon. Now next would normally be simple syrup. And I'm not going to do it that way. It's only going to be a little bit, but I'm going to use amaretto. This is the recipe that somebody recommended to me, and I thought it sounded kind of good. So we're just going to put in about 1/2 ounce of amaretto. And this is not a great amaretto. I wouldn't recommend this to anybody, but it's what I had because I don't drink a lot of amaretto, and I'm not going to spend a bunch of money on it. There. I understand it's fantastic, this concoction here, so we're going to try it. And then we're going to add 3 dashes of the Angostura bitters. 1, 2, 3. And just a touch of water. Just a touch. That's enough. Then the ice. Give it a little love. Let's give it a stir. There we go. And I'm going to express this orange peel. See if I can get my glasses out of the way first. My floor is clean. I just cleaned it. I'm not worried about that. All right, here we go. Oh, it got me. I'll do it the other way too. Wow, I'm amazed at the amount of oil that came into my face. Stick that down in there. And oh, don't know my own strength, I guess. Get one of these bad boys. Boop. All right. And there you have an old-fashioned with amaretto instead of simple syrup. Let's try it. I can tell where you could go overboard with the amaretto if you're not careful. I did not. This is very nice. That's very good. All right, so there you go. We tried it. And the HIRSCH does not get lost in this, thankfully. It's not standing out, but it doesn't get lost. It blends in nicely. So, but 2 ounces, I mean, it does a pretty good job. I'm going to put the cork back on this HIRSCH Horizons, like that. The aftertaste on that amaretto tells me I probably need to get a better amaretto. It's the truth. On the front, it's great. On the back and the aftertaste, I need a better amaretto. All right, guys. I want to thank you for checking out my very, very first live YouTube video for Beautiful Bourbon. We'll do this again. Normally, we're on... must be time to play. The dogs are back there with the toys. Normally, we're on Facebook every Thursday at 7:30 p.m. And we try a different bourbon every week. As far as I know, the only one I've ever done twice was Blanton's. And we'll do those again because those are single barrels, and every barrel's a little bit different. But not anytime soon. But we're on Facebook normally. We do a different one every week. We try it just like you see it. We try it neat, we try it on water, we try it on ice, and then sometimes we make a cocktail like tonight. So if you would like to see that, check out our Facebook page, facebook.com/beautifulbourbon, Instagram @beautifulbourbon, and of course the blog at beautifulbourbon.com. And now here on Facebook, you can see some of the Bourbcasts that we put on here previously. So thanks for watching. I'm going to end this and say thank you for being here. And we will see you again next time.